So you've decided to get into the woodworking hobby. You really just don't know what to build. Well, even with little to no skill set, there are still some awesome projects that you can make. I'm Nick Harrison with Rocky River Woodworks, here to help you be successful as a woodworker. Hey, before I begin, make sure you hit that like button down below. It helps me grow on this channel. Be sure to subscribe as well. So for starter projects, stick with generally straight lines and easy joinery methods, 90-degree corners, stuff like that, especially when you're first starting out. A lot of the projects I'm going to talk about today include straight lines, easy joinery methods, and 90-degree corners, simply because that's the easiest thing to start with. Project number one are stools. Now, stools can be very basic or very elaborate. When I'm talking about a beginner project, what I'm talking about is a simple stool that has straight legs, 90-degree corners, easy joinery methods. A lot of stools can be done with something as simple as pocket holes or butt joints and wood glue, things like that. You don't have to make a curved seat. You don't have to make a curved back support. You don't have to make curved legs. That's all more advanced stuff. But the reason why a stool is such a good starter project is for that reason. It can be as basic or as elaborate as you would like. Another good thing about using stools as a starter project is that they're relatively quick. A lot of stools can be made start to finish in just one day, which will help keep you motivated. These stools can also be made from cheaper lumber, cheaper materials, sometimes even building materials, so that you're not investing a huge financial investment in your project. So if you mess up, you're not losing that much. Project number two is end tables. Now, when I say end tables, I mean like nightstands, coffee tables, end tables on the end of your couch, a true end table, whatever. And the reason is because these are so vast in the style, design, size, etc. The good thing about end tables is they can be, again, as basic or as elaborate as you would like. Some end tables just have some legs and a top. Some have legs, a top, and a shelf. Some have a top, legs, shelf, and drawers. Again, you can make it as elaborate as you would like. You can start with 4 basic legs of square posts with a tabletop and maybe one shelf. You can move up into adding fancy drawers. You can do dovetails on those drawers. You can do anything you would like as you grow your skill set, but an end table is a really good place to start as well. The third project for beginner woodworkers are boxes. Now, boxes, again, can vary. What I'm talking about are small boxes, and the reason this is a good project is because it allows you to practice different styles of corner joinery. You have miter joints, box joints, dovetail joints, mortise and tenons, and those joinery methods can be as elaborate or as simple as you would like. A lot of small boxes start with just wood glue. Then you might move up to wood glue and a dowel joint or a box joint or a dovetail joint as you grow your skill set. The good thing about boxes as well is a lot of the times they're small enough where they can be used with very little amounts of material, sometimes even scrap wood and small cutoffs, small amounts of material, again, are cheap, easy to get your hands on, so you're not putting a huge financial investment in up front. So if you do mess up while you're learning, you're not spending a whole lot of money. The second reason why a box is a good starter project is for trims and molding. Some boxes have elaborate crown molding on it or neck molding or lip molding around it. Some of them don't. Some of them have grooves. Some of them have inlays. Some of them have curves and rounded corners. Some of them don't. The possibilities are literally endless when it comes to a box as far as the wood species, the size, etc. Another good reason for practicing with boxes is that it allows you to get accustomed and acclimated to how your wood and your species of wood that you're using on your box reacts when you're machining it. Using your joiner, using your saws, it allows you to get a good grasp on how that wood is going to react and how well or not so well it's going to machine with that tool. Boxes are also good for starters because they make great gifts. A box can pretty much be used for anything. It can be used as a keepsake or a memento box, a valet tray, a valet box. It can also just be used for a practical reason, a pencil box or a keychain box or a collection box, coin box. And these boxes are usually small enough to where if you practice and you make 10 of them, you're not using up a lot of storage space to keep them. You can put them all in one area and keep them relatively easily. That also goes for the boxes that you gift to other people. They're an easy gift because they're easy to store. They don't take up a lot of space. The fourth starter project is a cutting board. Now, when I say cutting board, I'm talking about a solid piece of wood that you make into a cutting board. If you're doing a cutting board that requires a glue up with long grain or edge grain, that's a little bit more elaborate because there's more milling and more gluing and more processes involved. But if you do a charcuterie style board where it's just one solid piece of wood, this is a good starter project to get you accustomed to milling the wood, getting it flat and square. It also introduces you slowly to rounded corners. You can make a rounded handle, you can make a juice groove, you can make a rounded corner on all the sides of the board, etc. It is a good way to start and a good way to get used to working with wood. The fifth and final starter woodworking project that I recommend are shelves and bookcases. I recommend shelves and bookcases simply because it introduces you slowly to making larger scale projects. A lot of the joinery and the techniques that I've mentioned in this video so far also apply to shelves and bookcases, so that's really nothing new. You're still going to be dealing with 90-degree corners, shaker style builds where straight edges, stuff like that, as well as simple joinery, but it introduces you to working with larger materials. It's just a good way to ease into it while still remaining traditional and simple as you learn. Okay, so those are my 5 recommended projects for starter or beginner woodworkers. If you have any other recommendations, leave them down in the comments. I'll be glad to open up and start a conversation with you down in the comments. These projects are just good for learning how to design and plan and purchase and mill and joint and finish woodworking projects. All right, so again, be sure to hit that like button down below, hit subscribe, and ring the notification bell so you don't miss out on any future videos. If you enjoyed that video, I have another video right here that I think you'll enjoy. Thank you for watching. Take care.